Hey, what's up, guys? And actually, now that I think about it, Mir, we haven't done a discussion video in like over a month now since Street Fighter 6. Yeah. So we got a very special guest today, MC Mura. What's going on, man? He's gonna be joining us for this discussion.
Yeah, I'm very glad to be here. Been watching the shows for years.
Awesome.
You would have no idea. So it's kind of surreal, honestly.
That's great. Actually, it's my so MC Mura is another fellow Street Fighter content creator. He's got a lot of great guides and in-depth discussions, very similar to us. And actually, my brother is the one that introduced your channel to me. And so ever since, I've been watching your channel. So it's great to have you here. I'm sure my brother will be excited too. I want to get more guests.
I really do.
It's good that there's like more people to share the knowledge.
Oh yeah,
we can all be together and
course.
stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course. So we're gonna start off with a great discussion. Rashid has just been announced and revealed. We saw his trailer, and yeah, that's what mainly I want to talk about today. So I guess we'll start things off by just talking about how do you guys think like he looks, like just his appearance alone. I'm seeing a lot of people already like make comments they don't like his hair like sticking out over the top. Now they changed it. I don't know.
I was just asking Mura before this discussions, like what kind of headwear is that, because it doesn't actually cover the head.
Yeah, it's the idea behind it is it's really hot here, so you would want to wear something to cover your head, right?
Right.
So his hair coming out makes no sense.
So it's not accurate at all. It's just cat
I mean,
I've never seen
the wind, like it goes fast, so that's how he gets cooling over it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they could only change like the costume so much. I think Rashid looked fine in Street Fighter 5, so they were just trying to add a little touch to it,
Yeah.
They got rid of the scouter, the board scouter.
Yeah, they did, but then they gave it in the fighter pass, so that's pretty strange too.
And we have his classic costume as well from Street Fighter 5. So like, in case like you want the traditional look, but honestly, maybe I'm going against the flow, but I do like the hair out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. It probably is also a way to show off the engine, because it's gonna be hair physics as well, right? Like all the wind and stuff.
At least it can be like a, I don't know, like a Final Fantasy character where they add like 50,000 belts to him or something, like, just for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, they probably want to emphasize the movement, so that's why they give him a lot of like moving parts, dynamic hair, all of those. Yeah,
they did that with Street Fighter 5 too, like Bison with the clothing, and there's like they're trying to show all these things flowing. And now everything's about muscles and flexing now, that kind of stuff, right?
I mean, in Street Fighter 5, everything clipped together because imperfect solution.
Dude, the
but
wind
in this
effects,
game, they did a much better job with cloth.
The wind effects look really good.
On the character select screen for Street Fighter 5, he would like his headpiece would clip onto his arm every and he never fixed it.
Yeah. Oh, what about the theme? Do you guys like the new theme? Everyone was already like cringing for the fact that like, oh, they're gonna ruin his theme, because that was like one of the best things about Rashid in Street Fighter 5 was this theme.
It's like a lounge music sort of feel, I guess, in the sense that it's very chill. And again, it's probably because they want the themes to be played at the same time as the commentators and things like that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's fine, but it doesn't have the same personality that it had for Street Fighter 5. It was just like so much more.
The lyrics, right? Amplified it for sure, man. People will still be singing the Rashido song anyways, all the way.
It also fit him really well. Like,
yeah. Because he's supposed to be the hero, right, of Street Fighter 5, so it made sense. Like he would have like that kind of hero theme, but I don't know. I'm sure people like Rashid more than Luke, so I'm pretty sure.
It was one of the few things that made fighting Rashid tolerable. Like at least you're listening to something funny.
Yeah, you hum as you get bodied in the corner and get shimmied a million times. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, friend. And he kicks you on like Rashido.
Okay.
I guess another thing that I noticed is slightly different, or at least I haven't noticed if it is. Maybe it's a better way of saying it. In Street Fighter 5, he had this kind of like Jafar beard, like with the twirl as well.
Yeah, right.
In Street Fighter 6, it's a little bit different, right? So
yeah, that's true. Because after he does like his super, he's got like the genie pose,
the genie.
Yeah, that's true. They got rid of that. Yeah, like he's looking less, scruff, but then like with the hair, I don't know. They're just making slight changes. I don't know.
I think the black and orange, like the addition of black and orange, works really well too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, as opposed to just being gray and white. Yeah, that's true.
That's a nice touch, and I think it goes well too with his drive impact. I don't know if we saw the drive impact, but I'm sure that's why they did that to have some colors associated.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
It was like a clash, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about his gameplay? Like how they changed him from 5 to 6? Like there's a lot to talk about with this. A lot.
Yeah, it seems to be Rashid from 5, but on crack. The thing that we haven't seen. Okay, so like let me preface by saying this way. It seems like most of the character is in here. The things that most notably are missing from the trailer are crushing heavy punch.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that crushing heavy
I know
punch.
it was missing too. Yep.
There's no wall jump that I've seen.
Right.
You know how he had
the
the
wall
unique
jump
wall
though.
jump?
He's gotta.
He had the unique one where he could go shallow, right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's missing. And I don't think we saw a dive kick because he could do dive kicks, right?
I think he comboed into Eagle Spike at some point in the air, I believe. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
I think he did.
I mean, I don't think Rashid players care because he's got like a double jump, man. He's got like a double jump. It's insane. Okay, well, first off, like, do you guys like that they gave him a command run? Because I was wondering how they're gonna deal with run. Because like obviously it loses its uniqueness because you got drive rush, right? So they gave him a command run, and I thought that was like maybe a little too redundant since we have like Kimberly, you know, that's more of that guy kind of style run. What do you guys think? Like obviously it's different, like he side switches and stuff with it, but dealing with his run mechanic, what do you guys think?
Is it still not his forward dash, or is it like a command now?
I think it said in the blog it was a command run, right, Mir?
That's I actually do not remember offhand. I was gonna say the animation at the very beginning of the run looks a little bit odd because he kind of like sprints forward a little bit and then the run begins.
Yeah.
Which at first made me think that it is part of the dash. Right?
Mhm.
You know how in Street Fighter 5 he does if you do the dash, he just does like a step forward and then stops, right?
Yeah.
So I do not know. I mean, technically it is a command run even in Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
The thing that's particular about it is that in Street Fighter 5 as well, you could do his Eagle Spike out of it, and you could do
the whirlwind.
Actually, that was the only thing you could do, right?
The whirlwind.
Oh no, the whirlwind. Right. Yeah.
Punch.
Yeah, it's a mixer.
So like they replaced that with the other.
Yeah.
Actually,
now
we don't know about this because a couple of months ago, before Street Fighter 6 came out, there was like a long Twitter thread with developers where they were talking about stuff like character designs, what they wanted to do, what they didn't. And with Rashid, they said they wanted him to do more actions out of the run, but couldn't figure it out in Street Fighter 5.
Oh.
And I'm guessing they added more to it and didn't really take anything.
Right.
That's what I'm guessing.
So you're saying that they haven't gotten rid of the Eagle Spike and the spinning mixer, but they added those other two moves as well that they've shown.
Well, he's
like
got
on top of what he already had.
Well, he's got the slide besides switches. He's got like some overhead attack now as well.
Yeah.
So, like right away, that tells me he's gonna be good against zoning. Before.
Yeah.
Because like before he had to go from the air or just jumping in, or he has his projectile himself. Oh, his whirlwind shot. You guys notice it goes a little bit lower this time around, a little bit more straight too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it probably has more range. And in general, now with the fact that you're able to hold it to create like those like wind, whirlwinds, right? That buff your moves. Clearly has a different use, right? It's not just to kind of like reset, but it's something that you can do maybe from full screen to try and get in.
Yeah, that's cool. I before he had to use a meter, because he has to get the EX whirlwind shot, and then he rolls with the V skill to go in and manipulate it, right? Or he can jump. But now like you can hold it down, and he'll start spinning and wind it up, and he's got a new move now too, right? Where you can use it to amplify as well, so that's pretty sick. They gave him, because I thought that whole manipulating the wind mechanic, with his V trigger and the whirlwind shot, was such a cool part of them. In the first beta of Street Fighter 5, like when they had Rashid, I'm like, wow, this is like my favorite character. He's so fun, like a Marvel character in Street Fighter, right? But now it just feels like
they didn't put him in MVCI. Come on, guys.
But dude, Street Fighter 6 feels like Marvel because of Drive Rush. So I'm just like, man, they had to really like amp him up this time around,
Oh. That's crazy.
Well, the thing that I find interesting about Rashid and the way that they tried to show him off for 6 is that they were really keen on trying to kind of like show that the things that made Rashid are still there, including his forward medium punch, right? It has a different animation, but they even show that the first hit is cancelable, so they probably want a lot of things to feel a little bit like it was in Street Fighter 5, right? Like, but expand on that game plan. And it reminds me of what they did with some characters like Zangief, for example, where Zangief, you can see that they used the Street Fighter 5 formula as a basis, but they've expanded on it and made it more fitting to the game, right? So like for Street Fighter 6 with Rashid, I'm curious if he's going to be a super sticky character like he was in 5, right? Like the thing that made him very unique, let's say, about Street Fighter 5 was the fact that his rushdown was very good because it was really difficult to keep him off of you because he kept going, he had a really easy way to reset pressure, right? With the whirlwind and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of characters like that in 6 right now because this game is kind of like reset to neutral a lot sort of thing. So I wonder if Rashid's gonna be that character, right? Like it's just always on you.
I wonder if he will have the -2 mixer into EX.
Sure.
We don't even know. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if his OD mixer is not even a reversal this time around. I would not be surprised if they took it out. Because just because I'm thinking now when they nerfed Kimberly at launch and they took out her reversal, if Rashid gets to keep his reversal, man, Kimberly players are gonna be going insane. They're gonna be complaining.
I think it will actually still be.
You think so?
Invincible reversal.
It's gotta be slow startup. Like
make it
was
slow, yeah.
And
I was gonna say, he also has the level 1 that side switches a lot like Ken's. You know, like if you put him in the corner and you're not careful. And he level 1s you, then you're in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if that super gets manipulated somehow by the wind too, because I'm just thinking, because it'd be a common super you'd be landing. You know, one thing too about Rashid's design is a long time ago, the director, before Street Fighter 6 was even released, he showed this cool GIF drawing of Rashid throwing down a device, and the device is creating the tornado, like his V-Trigger 1 tornado. A long time ago, he showed this. And I thought to myself, oh, maybe that's a hint on his design because, Rashid, he does have gadgets, right? I don't know if he has like any special powers. Like he uses technology to create the wind. And I thought maybe maybe he's got like a stock system. Like my brother was mentioning, like he would place down like a device and it would create the wind and then you can use it, because the Street Fighter 6, they love the stocks, but they went in another direction where like I said, he creates the wind. The animation on the tornadoes on that look really sick. But another thing,
they kind of maintained his gimmick though, because he had that in 5, but they didn't give him anything new.
Yeah. I feel like
they expanded on.
In the trailer too, they only show one drive rush combo, but they don't actually show him like using the drive rush. I'm so curious on how fast it is. Like, is he gonna be the #1 drive rush, like better than Jerry and DJ? Like, I'm so curious.
It's interesting because not every rushdown character, even though they are clearly rushdown characters, have the same drive rush. Because like you look at Cammy, and Cammy's drive rush is pretty fast, but it doesn't go very far.
Yeah.
True. I wouldn't say that. Well, I was gonna say Chun-Li, but Chun-Li is not really a rushdown character. She has a pretty poopy drive rush. But then you have DJ, which is like obviously extremely fast and fairly long. And then you have Jury, which is even longer range. So. It depends.
But I do think like with DJ's idea is that he's a mobility character. I feel like they designed him to be mobile. Like that is the entire idea behind him. That is a character concept, as the Japanese say.
Yeah. It also has very good normals that benefit from the drive rush. So they really want you to get in range to use it. So like with Rashid, let's pretend that he still has his like his crouching heavy punch and he can just do that in neutral. You probably won't be able to because drive impact and all that.
Right.
But maybe the design is okay. Well, he plays neutral by spamming crushing heavy punch, and then the drive rush is just for combos. It's very possible that it's gonna be a short drive rush.
Do you think maybe with the wind, it'll make him more meter efficient? Because let's say he rolls through the wind and he hits you. Do you think they'll make his normals plus, and then he won't have to use drive rush as much as other characters, like reliant on it to get in?
It used to be that. Sorry.
Go Mir. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say some of his normals when he went through the wind got extra range in Street Fighter 5, right? Like a standing medium kick is forward medium punch. You just scoot across the screen, right? When you go through the wind. So imagine that maybe, as you were mentioning, that's the neutral skipping tool in the sense that it's like the other players being a little bit complacent, and he lets you plop down the whirlwind, and then you do an overhead through the whirlwind, and you're on their heads on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe it will interact with the drive system. Like maybe the wind will push his drive impact forward.
Oh no!
Kind of like how screen driving.
No.
But it is possible. Maybe he will have like lackluster drive rush, but with the wind, his drive rush goes like full screen.
Right. No, I think that might be it too. That's another huge possibility. Like that's how it works. Yeah, they're gonna want him to use the wind.
Drive back.
It looks like it takes quite some time to wind up the wind too. For him to get started. So I would see like online Rashid players like jumping back, going full screen, and then winding it up, and then bulldogging.
Right. I think the idea is that when you get a knockdown with say an Eagle Spike or something, it's a lot like a Blanca ball where you're really far from the opponent. But unlike Blanca, which has a bunch of like tricky mobility options and stuff, he just sets up the wind instead, and that's how he prepares to get in again.
Yeah,
that's what I'd imagine it would be.
He's got an air throw too. Give him an air throw. It looks really nice. He like slides on like a skateboard or surfboard. It's cool. Another thing too is
is this about the air throw? There is something about it that once I've seen it, it pissed me off immediately. Because you remember when he was doing like the wall jumps, the only way to counter it was to like jump at him.
Yeah.
But what if he can jump air throw you and now
that's
in the corner?
I mean, the wall jump might not even be there.
That's true. But I mean, now he's got the double jump, so I mean, good luck catching up to him anyways in the first place. At least we got the forced knockdown mechanic. So maybe
my prediction is that day one, someone's gonna do it to me, and I'm gonna try to anti-air it, and my anti-air is gonna go the wrong way, and I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna be like, this character is amazing. I'm sure that's exactly what I'm gonna say.
Another thing too,
it's actually interesting because about the double jump, because we were just talking about this before we went live, is that a lot of characters have by design like blind spots where they can't anti-air cross-ups or like reversals. DPs will move forward or whiff. So him having a double jump in this game is actually really dangerous, just because of this.
Yeah, like if he can get a full punish on you too, because of the punish counter system and how dangerous the corner is, it's really hard to not see this character as like really strong. I can't get past it. I
mean, maybe his damage is garbage.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. I just like when I saw, the Cammy trailer, I was just like, this character. This looks like there's so much favoritism. But now, in reality, we don't even see pro Cammy players really even using her hooligan at all. So I'm like thinking, man, maybe some of the stuff we're seeing in this trailer with Rashid, maybe there's some moves he won't even use. Maybe the wind will take too long to wind up, right? Or maybe the double jump is too slow and telegraphed. It's hard to say, but we're going off of Street Fighter V, and this character has been top tier since the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was even top tier in season 1. We just didn't really know exactly how the character worked. What's up?
I don't think I agree, because in season 1, and that was exactly the reason why I brought it up. In season 1, his damage was horrible.
Yeah, I remember saying that too. I mean, I did a tier list, and then I put Rashid as really low because I said his damage output is horrible, right?
Right. But in season 2, they literally give him 50% damage on everything. So
yeah, that's true.
Help him.
There is one small thing too, just to put in for Street Fighter V, is that they at the very first season they had a very powerful jump back option select that made shimmies not as strong, and Rashid is all about the shimmies. So like that really helped him too. Obviously, the damage was bigger, but in Street Fighter 6. When he has that pressure on you and you're taking throws and whatever, you're instead of getting chip, you're losing drive gauge. The difference is that you lose drive gauge on normal attacks. You didn't take chip damage.
Even worse.
Yeah, so it's even worse. So it's like, man, and now with the drive reversal, being punishable on block, I mean, this is really dangerous. It really, and in Street Fighter V, it really came down to like which characters could stop him from getting that whirlwind shot out. Because they nerfed and buffed it. They nerfed it. They made it slower, but they buffed it so if he got away with it, he was even more plus. So I wonder if that whole meta of how Rashid plays when he gets in the corner and you have to deal with when is he going to do the whirlwind shot, if that even is going to exist, especially if we don't even know if his crouching fierce is even in the game. You know, I'm really curious about that.
Well, actually, talking about his normals, I have a question for you two. His standing medium punch, is it going to be +1 or +2?
I don't
it's gotta
know.
be plus. Like it's gotta
be
right?
plus, yeah.
Dude, I don't even have beef with this.
Too.
Sorry, what was that?
I would imagine they would make it really blood because it was ridiculous in 5.
Oh, I didn't even have beef.
But did you notice it actually got a target combo this time? Like he does. It seems like medium punch heavy kick. The launch it launches like a launcher.
Yeah, he does. I think, like I said, they're trying to make sure, because of the super system in Street Fighter 6, they're trying to make sure that everyone has access to the level 1s easily. So I noticed there's like a lot of target combos or moves that kind of juggle the opponent up as a way, and then it helps the drive rushes too, because you can juggle that way too. Like Honda, for example, they added, or Blanca's, you know, his OD electricity, and they added a whole bunch of moves like that to the game. So I'm sure it works the same. I wonder if maybe he knocks you up. Maybe Rashid has time to wind up the wind, because now he's gonna need setups where he knocks you far, knocks you down, and gives him just enough time to get the wind out, so he can amplify himself. You know.
Yeah, a little bit like JP and the Rifts.
Yeah, exactly. And man, what about his level 2 is the V trigger 1, right?
Right. Yeah. Isar.
Yeah. So I wonder how strong that's gonna be, because now we have the parry system. And I feel like, you know, before Street Fighter 5 is like, good luck blocking that thing, right? Because he's got like multiple chances to open you up. But now I wonder how good it would be if you hold down parry. What do you guys think?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mir first. Yeah.
It's interesting because in the video they show it being done on hit, and how he follows up and gets the wind empowered special move that apparently has a lot of corner carry, right? Because of the spinning mixer, I think. So that would be part of the utility of the super, where it's very easy for him to use it to carry you to the corner, which is very valuable for him as a rushdown character, because then he gets to pressure you. You know, like that's where rushdown characters do best in Street Fighter 6. So that could be one reason as to why it is a level 2, in the sense that you're not going to use it on block, you're going to use it on hit instead, especially because the opportunity cost of being able to use it from OD moves. So maybe that's just it. Like maybe they do not want you to use it on block. But then there's always the situation of if you do use it on block and they're in burnout, then they get overheaded or low.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about
that.
that.
They can't jump over it,
right?
Imagine,
it's kind of like JP already does that, you know, like JP and Guile. Like once you're in burnout, they start licking their lips and they're like, "Oh, level 2 now, right?" Oh man,
and
I didn't even think about that.
There is actually one interesting thing about this as well, is the fireball system in Street Fighter 6. Like some characters were able to negate it in 5, like you throw multiple hitting fireballs at it.
Oh yeah,
but you can't even do that here because
that's true,
right? Because of the new hierarchy thing. That's true. Yeah, I would imagine
like he will push you to the wall and then almost a guaranteed drive impact. Like what are you gonna do about it?
Supers where you can throw out in pretty much every situation are like very strong. Like, so like very high value level 2s, you know? And I just wonder if, like, you know, if Rashid's trapped in the corner, if he can just use it to escape, or like whenever he gets it, will he use it right away? You know, I feel like Guile's level 2 right now, Mirror. Like, I don't think Guile players really use it much. Like, you know, in Street Fighter 5, they just activate it right away. It's so powerful. But now it's like you use it specifically for burnout because of the, like MC mentioned, the hierarchy of the projectiles now just nullify it. So maybe that's what's going to balance it out this time around.
I was going to say in Street Fighter 5, of course, you got one free every round, basically, right? So that's another thing to keep in consideration. It is a 2-bar expense, so it's kind of difficult to use in that sense. The way I personally like to use it is if you go for shimmies and stuff, you know, like you really need to close out the round, it gives you a really powerful combo to cash out without using drive gauge. So like, you know, you can use that to your advantage when you don't have resources. You spend another resource. So maybe for Rashid is the same thing, right? Like instead of having to do like double drive rush combo into whatever to kill you, he can decide to spend his level 2 and maybe he gets a cool combo in the corner, right?
Yeah, like he definitely looks like he's just one of those characters that has a lot of flexible options, and those characters are usually just really strong. Like a lot of options depending on the situation to do because of the wind and how long his combos are, and Rashid's just really good. At least in Street Fighter 5 he was. So in Street Fighter 6. So guys, I'm gonna bring up the huge news now. You guys are you guys ready? This might be new news for people listening to this video, but the Street Fighter Twitter channel just announced that Rashid is actually going to be a legal character for EVO this year. That's right. I guess it's technically 2 weeks, and I don't know how I feel about this, guys. I feel like this is a terrible idea from Capcom. A terrible idea. Not just because we got a brand new character coming to the game, but it's Rashid, and this character might be really strong, and everyone that's preparing up to this point now has to learn Rashid immediately in 2 weeks' time. Like, what do you guys think about this? I don't know, man.
Like, imagine Zero putting the naughtiest possible character in the game.
I know, like, what were they thinking? I cannot believe he's tournament legal for EVO. That is crazy to me.
This is all okay. So, like, this is my guess, right? The 2-week Rashid is not going to beat pro players when you get to like top 6, top 12, top 8. I don't know what we have this year. Right. I think when you get to that point, all the Rashid are gonna get weeded out before, right? But it's gonna destroy pools. Pools is gonna be a mess. Like, everyone's gonna die to Rashid, and then the pro players show up and beat the Rashid players, and then they all go to top 8 or whatever. So I don't know if this is like some 5D chess big brain ploy to get rid of like randos from fools, but like that's what's gonna happen. Like, that's what I think is gonna happen, because they're gonna all get gimmicked out by Rashid.
I don't know, man. Like, we've already seen proof of the surprise character already with Blanca, right, with Menardi, with CEO, okay? And some players, not going to go into details, might have been playing this game for longer than others, okay? So, now we have a new character like Blanca, like that no one was able to play in any of the betas, right? And we've had a month now, and he's already a surprise factor. Okay, and that's Blanca. Now we're talking about Rashid, okay? 2 weeks before EVO, there's gonna be someone out there. The temptation is too great. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If they find like something stupid broken, like an infinite or some type of exploit, of course, Capcom can step in and be like, okay, never mind, this character's banned. They can't let that play out, but that's why they have the 2 weeks for it. But I don't know, man. This to me is just really scary. I feel like 2 weeks is just not enough time. But at the same time, personally, I'm gonna love this, because I'm gonna love watching someone get super salty getting random out by Rashid. It's gonna be so entertaining to watch, but as a competitor and a pro player, people are gonna be very salty about this.
Yeah. He's like a ball of chaos.
Yeah, dude. I just can't believe it. Okay, well, do you guys think this character is gonna be good, like top tier, like just straight up? What do you guys think? Like, if you're just a guess, obviously we're going off a trailer here, but
okay. My guess is that he's at least mid-tier. Like, he's not gonna be bad. Let me put it this way.
No
like,
way
I don't think this character can be bad unless his damage is absolute trasholi, and that I cannot know, of course. But I think he's gonna be at least mid-tier, and I hope that he's not top 5, like that he's right below top 5, because I think the character is cool. But if he has rushdown, like serious rushdown, where you cannot get him off of you, when these characters are super strong, people just don't like that, and we've seen it with Street Fighter 5 Rashid. So
unless your characters are Shoto, then they get a pass. Then it's fine.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
What do you think, MC?
I would imagine, like, if they took Street Fighter 5's Rashid, copy pasted him in Street Fighter 6 right now, he would at least be mid tier, right? Because his moveset is way too versatile. Like, he's like the twins. There is no way they're bad. Like,
true,
regardless of what they do. So I imagine him at least being mid tier. I'm starting to think of ideas like, maybe he would do well against some of the top characters. Like, I can imagine him doing well against Juri, maybe, because she does low fireball, drive rush. He got eagle spike, so we already got like a big encounter. Maybe he can use his V skill under DJ's fireball. So I can think of ideas that would make him very powerful already.
Yeah.
But I think it will come down to like the damage, utility, etc. But at least mid tier. There's no way Rashid is weak.
There's no way. It'd be so surprising. It'd be insane.
Yeah.
Like Capcom is so confident that this character is balanced. They're so confident. I am very impressed with the balance of the game so far. Even since the first beta, I feel like Capcom's internal team, like the hidden players that are not allowed in tournaments, like I feel like when you watch their sample matches and stuff, it feels like they really know the system well. And so yeah, maybe they do feel like the character is completely tournament ready. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's such a toss up.
It always makes me think like if all the characters that we think are bad, if we're missing that one thing that the developers secretly know but they're not allowed to tell us, like there's one thing that makes them good and we just haven't figured it out. And maybe Rashid comes out and everyone's like, wow, this character sucks, but really it's because we don't know about that one thing that it really unlocks them.
I think you might be right though. It might come down to the damage. Like you mentioned the twins never being good, but remember CVS2 Young? Remember how bad he was? He did 0 damage. He was just like, I don't know, a shadow. Maybe that's the only way they can pull it off. I guess. Well, what makes a character like
when you think of some of the design choices in Street Fighter 6, like for example, Blankable Honda headbutt, they are incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Like compared to any Street Fighter version I can think of, he got an Eagle Spike. Will it be unsafe like 5, or will it be as good as a Blankable or a Honda headbutt?
That's
I
true.
hope not.
Takes one
Imagine
bar
it
per
being
block.
safe.
Like I said, Capcom's so confident with that because they're like, oh, you could just parry it and you don't take any chip damage at all. Like I'm sure that's Capcom's mindset. They're just like they're thinking of like the highest level, and not just like the lower ranks too. But I don't know. Well, okay. Well, what makes a character top tier right now in Street Fighter 6? Right? They have. I feel like their drive rush matters. They need a reversal to stop drive. Like it seems like everything's about drive rush, right? Can they stop other characters from drive rush and doing reversals? How strong is their drive rush? How well rounded they are, And we know almost for sure that Rashid's gonna be good against projectile users.
Yeah. It's kind of like the triangle of rushdown good versus zoners, which are good versus grapplers, which are good versus rushdown, that sort of thing.
Right.
So I think it's a fair guess.
So we have like a character like Kimberly who would be like similar rushdown, right? And a character like Cammy as well, okay? And then we think about, okay, well, Kimberly, she was like really strong during the beta, but she seems to have dropped off now. We don't see as many Kimberly players anymore. And that's because of a big jarring nerf that she got, which was the reversal, right? And that's very important that she had that. Now when you knock Kimberly down, you're not afraid at all. But she can close the gap easily. She can completely skip neutral against zoners, And then there's Cammy, who is like, she has just as an easy time against projectiles because of the spinning back knuckle, but she has a reversal. So I'm like trying to think where Rashid fits in, between these two characters right now. Just how it will affect the meta in general.
But also when you think, like when you compare Cammy and Kimberly, you gotta consider that Cammy got way better neutral. Like her normals, and thus the ability to convert into drive rush, etc., is way better.
Yeah.
I think it will come down to like, will Rashid have good normals? Will still his normals be completely busted like Street Fighter 5?
Yeah, that crouching heavy punch. Like I wonder if it's still there. That's true.
And remember, in Street Fighter 5, the first hit was cancelable, so it could be cancelable in this game. Maybe even on the second hit into drive rush.
Dude, and the tip crush counters you. It's just, oh man.
I think Mura makes a good point of depends whether or not the character is able to play neutral, because before the game came out, I thought that Manon had the highest chance of being bad if her neutral was bad, because it's like this character is so reliant on trying to get the medal levels that if you cannot play neutral, you just wouldn't be able to function. Luckily for Manon players, she does play neutral well, so that's not a problem. But Rashid would be the same situation, I think, because it's a character that clearly relies on trying to get setups going and stick to you and stuff, right? Like be close to you. So if he is stuck full screen dealing with other characters and not being able to get in for whichever reason, that already spells doom for whatever placement on the tier list, right? Because even if his damage is really good, if he just cannot get in, which I mean, I would not expect him to have problems with because we've seen his tools. If you cannot play neutral, then at least at top level, it wouldn't be nearly as viable.
Like right now, it seems like a lot of the strong characters are like well-rounded characters, you know, with projectiles. Yeah. So I just feel like in particular, a lot of people feel like Ken and Luke are really strong. But some Ken and Luke players mentioned, like Daigo, for example, mentioned that he has problems against like Cammy. Because Cammy really shuts down his zoning, right? Playing far. So I feel like, and then there's characters like JP that have some good favorable matchups as well. So I just wonder, like, introducing a rushdown character, I think would really kind of turn the tier list on its head on how it will go. I don't know how much people can figure out in 2 weeks' time, but I just feel like the popular characters right now might have problems with Rashid, because I would assume at EVO there's gonna be tons of Lukes and tons of Kens, tons, right?
Yeah.
So I think Rashid might do well against those characters, considering like a lot of them, the fireballs are an important part in the game. You know, very important part.
But it also kind of depends on like how rewarding is it for him to like bypass fireballs. If he can just slide and just like one hit and he crosses the sides and it doesn't do combos or anything, I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. But if he's like Cammy's at spin knuckle and it's a punish counter and then you get combo and then you get
drive rush, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. The slide, is he forced to side switch? You know, that's another thing too, because he side switches, right, when he hits you, when he slides by you. So I don't even know if that's the case too.
Right. Yeah. And another thing is whether or not you can do it consistently on reaction, because the spin knuckle, right? It's just the spin knuckle.
Yeah.
So like you just do it when you see the fireball, but the run, it's a lot like run DP for Ken, where you kind of like just run stop, and if you're doing the fireball instead, you do the DP sort of thing. But it's a little bit more committal because you're moving towards them, you're not blocking.
Yeah, it's definitely preemptive.
It's a matter of how effective it is, how rewarding it is, and on top of that, I mean, even though you might save him as a like counter pick character, you know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick this character against fireball zoners because he's good at dealing with them. Will that be, you know, enough to make you like win a serious match at EVO, right? Because maybe you can get a round or, you know, a match off, but if you don't get the right one off, it might, you know, they might figure you out, and it is like in 2 weeks it's very difficult to have a super optimized game plan, especially when people have been, you know, like playing their matches for
but you can have a matchup ready though, like into maybe like you want to use him for one specific matchup. I think that can work actually. Like say you're struggling against a specific character, he can be a good pocket.
Depends how hard he is to play.
Right. There's a lot of overlap with universal mechanics. So in Street Fighter 6, picking up an ult is not too terrible. But then there's also a lot of hidden optimization for every single character where, you know, they want to reward you for playing. And it depends whether or not Rashid works without that optimization, right? Because like Honda's a great example of a character that works without really optimizing him as a pocket character.
You bet.
It's like, oh, I have to play against Blanca. Well, let's play Honda.
yeah, exactly. And there are some characters now they're starting to find some sauce for, and then Blanca is the easiest example. Even Lily, they're finding some sauce with her too. So I wonder how many gimmicks he'll have. Okay, well, another thing I want to talk about is which pro players you guys think are gonna switch to Rashid if he's strong? Like who's gonna drop their character? The first person off the top of my head would be Gachi-kun, because he plays Manon. I think he will drop Manon in a heartbeat for Rashid for sure. I don't even know why he's playing Manon. It's crazy to me. Oil King also plays Manon, by the way. He plays Manon and he plays Chun-Li. So I think he would draw for Rashid too.
I'm thinking Big Bird probably will switch off.
I hope not.
I feel like Marisa works. I think she will work until a certain point.
Big Bird's like my favorite player right now. and he uses Marisa, and I don't want him to drop Marisa for Rashid. I really don't. I love watching.
He's gonna pick Rashid for those matchups where Marisa cannot anti-air.
Yeah,
which is every matchup, dude. That's every matchup. Come on, dude. Imagine Marisa trying to anti-air Rashid. There's no way.
Oh, she goes like, and then he double jumps over your head and you die.
Oh, it'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. I can't even think about it. No, there's no way. Who else would switch? JB, he uses Jamie. He would switch to Rashid as well.
Yeah, innocent.
John Takeuchi plays Jamie.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
a Rashid player.
Yep, that's another person who would switch. Who else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I'm missing anyone. There's a lot of Rashid players actually. Now that I think about it.
I mean, Rashid was popular because he was, good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was fun to play.
I mean, to be fair, like we talk a lot of trash about Rashid because in Street Fighter 5, a lot of people perceived him as very boring because he was everywhere, because he was very good. Again, the super offensive rushdown where he's just like sticking to you like glue. But I feel that already with Street Fighter 6, even though he might be very strong, right? The fact that there's a lot of things that can happen and a lot of interesting visual stuff, like things that are cool that can happen, it will make it more bearable to watch. Because I remember when Rashid was maybe using V-Skill 2, which was a little bit of a rare occasion. The commentators were just going nuts because it's like, oh my god, he's over there. Is this like over doing a million things? So Rashid for Street Fighter 6 could be exciting to watch. So I guess this is a cautionary PSA. Do not get the press that Rashid's coming back. Maybe he's cool this time.
Dude, that needed an emergency nerf, that V-Skill too. They actually emergency nerfed it. It was so absurd. What was Capcom thinking adding that V-Skill to? Like, how could they have possibly thought, like, let's add an even crazier V-Skill, man? It's so silly. I think Oil King tried getting away with it too, and Gachiku near the end. At the very last season, they tried using it as like a pocket ace to like mix people up, but damn, that thing is so annoying online.
It wasn't like Evo or something. Gashikon almost did.
Yeah, he almost got away with it. Like, so I mean, online, I can't imagine how powerful it would be, but at least Street Fighter 6's netcode is good. He still saw some of that in the trailer. Like, he still has some of that kind of. He's going forward, but then he's like backing up, kind of stuff we saw in the trailer. Like, he's gonna have some of that. I'm just curious about that double jump, man. You guys were talking about, man, it'd be so powerful if he's able to constantly bait you from doing DP. I'm not sure. Man, Rashid.
I would imagine, like, if you hit him, he would be, like, in a juggle state. Of, like,
the force knockdown.
Yeah, for sure. I would assume that it loses to air normals. It's the kind of thing where you're committing to the fact that the opponent's going to do an anti-air on the ground, and that's why you do the double jump to bait it out. But if they're ready, they just meet you in the air, and then, they could get a combo that way. I mean, I'm sure that they put it in with not gameplay in mind, but counterplay in mind, because unless they're crazy,
Yeah,
I would assume that they thought it through.
Do you guys think it would only be like for forward jumps, kind of like Colleen in Street Fighter 5? Because that one's kind of useless unless you're like corner.
You might be right on that too. That's another way they can balance it. It has to be one type of trajectory. If you're starting like a cross up, right, that is difficult to anti-air. You probably would be doing it off of a forward jump in the first place. So maybe in the case of Rashid, it would still, be fairly useful because of the offensive use of it, as opposed to Colleen, where it's like more like a defensive get out of the corner. But at least it won't be like Oral, where he's constantly jumping back and jumping up. You don't know where he's going, right? Yeah. At least it's not like that. I don't know. I think MC's right. Maybe it is only a forward jump. Maybe that's how they're gonna balance it. I'm sure. Like I said, I think the first thing I'm gonna check when Rishi comes out is his buttons. Like, that's the first thing where I'm like, okay, I have an idea. I'm checking that crouching fierce, man. I'm saying it. Like, it's so suspicious it wasn't in the trailer, man. I think they replaced it.
Yeah.
I'm checking the wall jump.
You're checking the wall jump?
I thought that was pretty unique. It'd be strange if they didn't bring it back, I think.
Are you guys gonna pick up Rashid? You guys are interested in him at all, playing him?
Actually, yes. I'm not a person that plays rushdown characters normally, but for some reason, Rashid in this game just, I don't know, it just looks great.
Yeah.
And I was interested in Rashid in Street Fighter 5 back during the alpha when I went to an event that had the, I think it was the build with Zangief in it. something like that. But no, it was the build before. And I played Rashid, and I thought it was cool. But then when the game dropped, I didn't really touch him very much. So I guess it's kind of like my way of saying sorry to Rashid this game. I'm gonna try him
same
out.
for me too. What about you, MC? You interested in him? You gonna play him?
Yeah, I don't think so. I want to tell you something funny about Rashid. I want to tell you something funny about him. Do you guys remember the Intel qualifiers? Like when they had the online Intel qualifiers, and they were doing like an open regional tournament and stuff like that, right? And I played in my region. I made it to the winner final. I had to win one match to get into it, right?
It
was against Rashid, and it came down to a magic pixel, and I lost to an X mixer.
No way! Oh, that sucks.
So you have a picture of Rashid on your wall.
Okay,
so you throw at it every day.
I get it now. So MC, it's personal.
He's the face of the biggest failure of my competitive
That's
career.
crazy. You got like a picture of Rashid's face with a dartboard, man. That's insane. So I guess that means on day one of Rashid, on July 24th, I guess you're going straight to the lab on like We're gonna expect some anti-Rashid guides coming out. MC.
I will try him out anyways, but yeah, I don't imagine myself. I never liked like naughty super fast characters. I like characters with good neutrals that can do massive damage. So Marisa, Luke, I kind of like them, but I can't see myself playing Rashid. Oh, by the way, shout outs to Ari Doon. He's an Algerian Rashid. He's a guy who knocked me out. He's a great player. So no offense.
I'm so hard feelings, but I still remember that.
Yeah, but I still remember exactly. I'm sure he's excited for Rashid coming out with Street Fighter 6.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the Facebook posts already. Like, he's in love.
How about you, Vesper? Are you excited?
I am always excited for a new character, man. I'm always down for playing new characters. That's just how I roll, man. I always like switch characters all the time. But still, Maurice is still my favorite character right now. I'm kind of in the same boat with you, Mir, where I played Rashid during the beta, and he was my favorite character. But when the game came out, I don't know, I didn't play him. I don't know why. So I think this time we're definitely going to give it a big fair shot, for sure, because he looks very fun in Street Fighter 6. Very, very fun. And I guess... What's that?
No, I was going to say another thing that I'm curious about, and this is, might come out of left field from someone as competitive minded as us, but I'm really curious about the World Tour inclusion of Rashid, because honestly, a lot of the characters have some really funny dialogue. Some of it is kind of cringe, I have to say, but I fully expect Rashid to give me a few good laughs, like with interactions and stuff, especially because he's a streamer and whatnot. I'm sure he's gonna say
I hate there's this character in World Tour. He's a content creator and he's so annoying, dude. I don't know if Capcom has anything against Capcom content creators, but he is such an exaggerated version of a content creator. He drives me crazy. And now Rashid is a content creator with the FooTube thing, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like Rashid is broken. Thumbnails are gonna be coming out, dude. And now we got Rashid as well saying the same thing. It's one big giant meme. But before
when I first saw that, I was like, wasn't that G's gimmick? Wasn't G's like a content creator?
Yeah, that is true. There is
also propaganda on YouTube.
Yeah, they really there is like a kind of a media vibe, as well. Yeah. Didn't they have another character too in Tekken, where she was also a content creator?
Oh yeah, Julia. They dropped the Native American outfit to go with the content creator.
Dude, maybe they want, I don't know. They I don't know, it's just something more trendy, that they're trying to go for. I think that's what it's about. But yeah, before we close this out, I just want to say that overall, like what we've seen with the trailer and Rashid's design and stuff, I'm very excited that they are changing a lot of things. Like, obviously there is a lot of stuff that we recognize from Street Fighter 5, but there's a lot of big changes they're doing too, and that makes me excited for the future DLC characters, especially since there's a couple of them, or a few of them, that are returning characters, like Ed and Akuma, and of course we have Aki as a new character. So I'm really excited what they do with everyone else, and it looks like they're putting a lot of work into the characters. I know the amount of characters they're rolling out seems to be really low, which I am concerned about, and we'll see what it's like next season. But adding Rashid to World Tour, maybe they might add a new area with him as well, and it looks like they're putting a lot of work into them. I'm really happy about, so it looks good.
I hope they don't add the stupid plane stage though.
Yeah, they
Or at
said
least
they're gonna add
kinda-
2 stages, but it doesn't look like Rashid's getting one of those 2 stages.
Yeah, no, like even
don't
in
imagine
World
it.
Tour, I hope that the plane is grounded this time.
No,
But no,
I,
like just to add to this briefly, you mentioned right, like you're excited for the new characters, and I
Yeah.
am as well.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder what they're gonna have for Evo as an announcement now, if it's anything related to new characters. Because I figured there was gonna be Rashid, but it's not. So
that's a good question. It would be so cool if they show us a preview of the other DLC characters. It would blow off the roof. But yeah, I don't know.
Do you
Maybe
think he would be ready by time though, because I think Ed is next, right?
no. Aki's
Aki
next.
is next, I think, right?
Oh,
Aki,
really?
yeah, Aki.
Mm.
So yeah, she's brand new, and she probably won't be out till like October, probably October-ish, even longer. So another thing too is like Street Fighter 6 is lacking a lot of DLC stuff like that. I figured they'd be going much harder on, especially costumes, like getting those third costumes out there, not the nostalgic. So maybe they can announce that, or maybe like I said, with how predicting how Capcom is like doing their announcement stuff was so difficult for Street Fighter 6 because it was completely different. It like when they announced things, like it just, even Capcom Cup announcements were as like huge as we thought they would be. So maybe Evo, they're not show anything at all. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I figured for sure they would announce them.
Targeting like the bigger audience, the bigger gaming audience, and going after like Summer Fests, that type of event.
I think you're right.
But still evil, It's still last year even they showed Judy and Kimberly, right? So at least they showed stuff in Evil last year. So I imagine they gotta have something.
Yeah, it seems like they released Rashid specifically on July 24th, so he was legal at Evo. So I wonder what their plans were. So it seems like it's all intentional. Yeah, they wanted to troll us. Like, it seems super intentional. I don't know. But yeah, let's wrap this up, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of Rashid, and do you think he'll be top tier and shake up the meta? And what do you guys think about making him legal at Evo? That is so crazy. Someone's gonna get super salty. I cannot wait for the blow up, guys. This has been fun. MC Mura, man. You guys can find him on YouTube. Like I said, he makes excellent guides for Street Fighter 6. Make sure to check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description to make sure. And he's got some good discussions. And hopefully we'll end up on your channel too at some point. We can continue more discussions down the road, MC. It's been great.
That would be awesome. And it's been really fun talking to you guys. I love talking Street Fighter, and we all love this. So
yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some more in the future and talk about some more heady topics, like some top tier topics and the rank system, stuff like that. Nice juicy videos to make. So yeah, okay, we're taking off, guys. Take care. See ya.
Bye-bye.